Recently, I've had a few people say to me, "You're so pretty, I don't understand how you're not in a relationship." And while I appreciate that compliment, I don't see how being pretty and being in a relationship go hand in hand. But what I will say is I am a product of my generation. What does that mean, you ask? Well, that means my standards are entirely too high. I have a fear of commitment. I have trust issues. I have daddy issues. And I have mommy issues. And I romanticize unrealistic relationships that I see. The list could really go on and on. So it's not necessarily like I don't have options, but I have a lot of toxic traits that I need to work on first.
Okay, so I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong when it comes to dating, but this is the third time in the past few weeks that I have gotten ready to go on a date and I end up getting ghosted. I'm starting to think it's me because it's happened so many times that I'm like, well, I am the main consistent thing in the same scenario. So like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
3 hours crying over a boy for whom I had to define multiple words while having a regular conversation? Yeah, okay, I'll give that one to you. Is this the second time it's happened this year? No, it's actually the third time that I have been rejected by a boy who needed a dictionary to have a conversation with me. The bar? On the ground. Really? Is it on the ground? No, it's actually in fucking hell. That's how deep it is.
Once upon a time, I was a junior in college in a sorority, and I got asked to a formal, and I didn't think the guy was that cute, but it was a formal, and it was in Chicago, and I had never been to Chicago before. I really wanted to go to Chicago, so I sucked it up and I went, and I was like, probably have a good time anyway. So he was super nice, we had a great time, he was super polite, just a good guy. So we ended up hooking up, even though I wasn't that attracted to him, but I was just attracted to the personality, you know? So ended up hooking up, had a great time at formal, get back to school. Keep in mind, back in that day, I would only obsess over one guy at a time, because that's just all my brain can handle, and I like to manifest one man at a time. Manifest the man. So I'm having a phase where I'm kind of into getting the attention from him, hooking up with him. So we're out one night, and I'm out with my friends, and he's out with his friends, and I see him, and I'm like, oh, he's not giving me time of day, what the hell? And obviously, even if I don't like someone, I will like them more if they are not giving me time of day. I will make it a point to make sure they do give me that time of day so I can feel satisfied. So we part ways, I don't see him for the rest of the night, but it turns out that my friend's boyfriend lived with him at the time. And my friend and her boyfriend happened to be leaving. So I was like, oh, you can just drop me off at my apartment or wherever I lived at the time. Somehow I decide to get out and go inside with them by myself. And the guy was in his room, in his bed, and I sat outside of his room, outside of the door. He wouldn't let me in. His friend went in, his friend talked to him, something happened, I don't know, I was drunk. He wouldn't let me in. He would not let me in. So, called an Uber, went home, and that is the story of the most horrendous rejection of my life.